Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Thank you at home for watching. All you out there listening by radio, thank you so much. It's the Christian View, where we take today's hot topics and we weigh them against the Word of God, because God does have a view. And this is it's an important show to me, because I've got teenage granddaughters in this audience, and we're going to be discussing the differences, love and lust. There is a huge difference in those two, and Jackie, I think one of the examples, I guess, the Bible gives us of this is to me, lust is just a high price you pay for sin. Because if you think about David, when he walked out on that balcony and lusted, oh my goodness, that's a high price he had to pay for that.
Very high. And there is a big difference. And I'm glad your teenage grandchildren are in the audience, but I think this is a message especially for adults who might be post-divorce after a first marriage or so forth, who think that the Bible doesn't apply to them. Love and lust is a very narrow road. And lust, very good example, David and Bathsheba. But love, Song of Solomon.
There you go.
So love
the difference.
is tender and comforting, with a passion and a desire to get to a destination of purpose and honor and valor, whereas lust is of the flesh. It can have to do with the body, but it could also have to do, we know, with desires for power and authority. But with lust, with relationships, often has to do with just something is stirring inside of me and I want to satisfy that curiosity, but I have no intention of doing anything with it. And so it is a very fine line.
I've heard it described as or love is the rose and lust is the thorn.
And
the desire of love is to give. The desire of lust is to take.
That sums it up right there, folks. You know, my granddaughters, we were talking on the way up here, and we said lust is when you look at the picture of that good-looking boy and you fall head over heels in love with him and you've never met him.
Well, lust is selfish and love is selflessness. One focuses on the other person, and the other, lust, focuses simply on yourself.
And sometimes
and your
people
own
have a hard time discerning that. I've heard this from adults even, and that's why I suggest in my books, you know, no dating for a while, so you can figure out who you are and whose you are, because they don't know the difference sometimes. They get excited, but lust will quickly dwindle away, whereas love will sustain.
We end up allowing, again, the world to define both, and they don't understand the difference between the two, and so we end up something that's very similar, but really they're not.
I say that in the short term, in any relationship, in most of the short term, you're going to involve a lot of lust. Lust deals with attraction, but the long term deals with love. And in my profession, you have to be careful, because in the attraction phase, a lot of times what happens is that it liberates what we would call common sense. And what happens is that lust alters your state of consciousness. It programs primal urges, and it automatically pushes people to want to procreate. And studies suggest that the brain in the phase of lust is just like the brain on drugs. It has the same chemical, or shows the same alterations during an MRI, or a person that's going through lust as a person that's also using cocaine. So because it increases the sex hormones.
It's a craving.
Yes, it does.
And it's never satisfied. Lust is progressive. It's never satisfied. You'll always need more. So yeah, where the mind goes, the man follows, and ultimately,
because it is that drug from within, and you're dealing with. And I like what you said, Jackie, in the beginning. You know, we have the tendency to always deal with it from the perspective of sex and those kind of things. But the reality of it is that you can lust after sugar, you can lust after so many things.
Power. It could be
power.
And that's self-satisfying,
and certain things that we don't think as being important ends up being a backdoor opener to the very area that Satan wants to kill you with. Because what happens is that you don't fight, let's say, against lust for sugar or lust for power or whatever it may be, but the reality is that he wants to get you to somewhere else. And if you just allow that to fester in, then it takes hold wherever he wants it to be.
And lust is also fueled by idealization and projection. So in essence, when you're lusting, what you're really wanting is you're hoping that the person will be what you need them to be. And rather than seeing the real person or seeing the flaws. So when lust dissipates, the real person shows up.
Right.
And if you
the
don't
man
love
usually
them,
flees. I'm sorry.
Why is she looking at me?
Don't you see? Don't you think that the man lusts more than the women? The man, I think, lusts first, but I think the women are looking more for that long-term thing, and men are short-term.
Usually more physical attracted.
Yeah, I think so.
First.
I think
and
so,
women
too.
are attracted emotionally.
Yes.
But women actually will do more, act more on the attractions a lot more than people think they do. We just say it shows up a lot in us because you see it on us first.
That's one of those deceptions. You don't really know what's happening.
Right.
But I love this. I know the world doesn't really promote it, but I have a friend who's one of their children, boy or girl, I don't remember, but they agreed not to kiss until they were engaged, so that lust would not be a factor, and they would know that they were best friends and meant to be together.
Yeah, because the Bible does say don't kindle a flame.
Right.
You know, the more you pursue something, the
Don't
more.
wake up love before it's time, right?
But,
Yeah,
but think about
exactly.
it. When you take a look at it from the Christian perspective, from the Bible perspective, we weren't even supposed to date. And then we have a hard time with that. That falls down to the ground like boom. Because now we have to try to teach our children that for this cause shall a man. Okay, and so
Right.
until you're ready to marry, you shouldn't even be leaving home.
Yeah.
You're right, Carol.
And what
You're
we're trying
right.
to do is fill a hole within us with everything but God. That hole was only meant to be filled by God because He
Yes.
said He
That's
is
right.
love. The greatest of these is love.
Yes.
And lust is void of intimacy. And I
Very
think
much
that's
so.
what we really need to keep at the forefront. When you have real love, love involves intimacy. And to have real intimacy, you have to have worship. And that's what worship is about. And it gets us back to Christ at the purpose. And I think if we keep Him at the purpose of everything, we would love and we would not be given over to the desires of our flesh so
We'd have
much.
good lives.
Or the lust
Blessed
that's temporary
lives. Stay with
infatuation.
us. When we come back, we're going to discuss whether or not it's a sin to live together outside of marriage.